students, welcome to Legacy IAS Academy. Today we are going to discuss about a very important concept in the polity and governance, and in this video we are going to talk about a very important form of justice, that is restorative justice. So we are going to discuss about what has been or how the origin of restorative justice can be understood, what is the need of restorative justice in the justice system, criminal justice system in India as well as different part of the world, as well as what is the significance of this form of justice from the perspective of both victims as well as the criminal. So let us try to understand first of all slight introduction about this form of justice. So in simple terms, if we want to define what is restorative justice, it can be called as a set of principles and practices that create a very different approach as far as dealing with the crime and its impact on the victim of the crimes are concerned, which is very different from the approach that is adopted by the justice system in the traditional system. Not only that, the heart of restorative justice can be said to be in organization of a face-to-face interaction between both the victims of the crime as well as the perpetrator of the crime. Not only these two, but even some society member who can act as a mediator, or community member that who can act as a mediator, are also called upon in the meeting. So after the meeting is arranged, in that meeting the focus is on connecting the crime, the impact of crime on the victim, and also bringing both the victim and criminal together so they can have a heart to heart talk as far as the this whole impact of the crime is concerned. Not only that, they can also invite their families, as well as court order financial institutions can also be given in case some kind of financial crime or property crimes has been committed. So basically all parties who come to meeting in the restorative justice system seek to agree on what the offender can do to repair the harm caused by their offense. So what is the idea behind the restorative justice system? So first of all, the major pillar on which restorative justice system is based upon is to evaluate what has been the harmful impact of crime on its victim. For example, many times when a criminal commits certain crime, then he is simply sent to jail and the victim is simply ignored. So this restorative justice system is more focused upon the victim, and it has taken a victim centric approach that not only criminal is punished, but at the same time what has been the harm of this crime on the particular individual or even the society at large can also be, we can say, evaluated, and then restitution can be ensured. Second, it is also aiming to determine what can be done to best repair that harm. And third point we can understand is that at the same time, while ensuring that or evaluating the harmful impact, ensuring that how we can repair the harm, it also makes sure that whoever is the culprit, whoever is the criminal, how to hold that person or persons accountable for their actions. So these are the three basic pillars that governs restorative justice system. Now, if we talk about the purpose of this particular justice system, so rather than seeing crime as a violation of rule of law or a violation of the constitutional principle and such, it sees any crime that has been committed as a violation of people and the social relationship that has been established in the society as per the social order and the social norms. So it is in this context, or it is in this regard, that this form of justice is quite different from the traditional method of justice. Second, it also aims and it also ensures that it is able to assist and heal persons who have been harmed by the crime. And third, it tries to bring again a community relationship to a normal level, or we can say it aims to restore relationship within the community after a crime has been committed, so that the social order, social fabric of the society can be maintained. Now, as far as the origin of restorative justice system is concerned, its origin can be traced back to Albert Eglas, who was a well-known English psychologist. And he said that as far as the justice system is concerned, we can have three different approaches to justice. The first type of justice is something that we can call as retributive justice. So as clear from the term itself, the idea behind this justice system is based solely on the punishment of the offender. That means if a criminal has committed certain crime, he need to be punished in accordance with that crime, proportionately to that crime. And once that is achieved, it is believed that the retributive justice has actually fulfilled its goal. Similarly, Eglas said the second form of justice can be called as distributive justice. Now, the sole purpose of distributive justice is to involve fair and therapeutic treatment to the offenders. That means many times when we are ensuring justice after crime has been committed, we focus on only punishing the offender and think that the justice has served its purpose. But many times offender do not commit crime knowingly, offender do not commit crime, we can say, by their own volition. Many times crime can be crime of passion, or sometimes they can take bad step, wrong step. That does not mean they have to be always discarded away from the society. There need to be a therapeutic treatment so that again they can be rehabilitated in the society once they have served their prison sentence, or once they have served their this what we can say prison terms that has been awarded to them. This is called as distributive justice. However, the third form of justice that Eglas outlined is something that we can call as restorative justice, which is our today's topic. And this is justice system, as we have discussed before, is based on restitution after consideration of input from both victims and the offenders. Once both victims and offenders are brought on the same page, have to have a face-to-face conversation, both can agree that what can be done to again ensure the social balance is restored, or to restitute the crime that has the effect of the crime that has been committed in the society. Now, as far as the theory of restorative justice system is concerned, the theory has been given by a well-known American criminologist known by the name of Howard Jack. And Howard Jack in 1990s wrote a book that is called as Changing Lenses, a new focus for crime and justice. And it is after this book that the restorative justice become a norm in a lot of different countries and in societies. So as far as Harvard Jair is concerned, he has given the theory of restorative justice, and he says that there are three pillars of restorative justice. The first pillar is empathy for all and by all. That means we have to take into consideration the interests of the victim, as well as we also have to take into consideration that what can be done to ensure proper rehabilitation of the perpetrators of the crime. That means there should be a sense of empathy by the community, by the victims, and also among the perpetrators of the crime. Second, he also said that a mumbled sorry is not enough. Just because if we are focusing on the restorative justice and just if we talk about perpetrators, he have just said sorry, that is not enough. We have to make sure a proper institutional way, there should be a proper way how the restitution of crime has to be done. And third is everyone is involved in the healing. That means restorative justice does not involve only victims and the criminals, but it also involves community and the society at large. So this has been the theory of justice that is given by Howard Jair. Now, obviously, the question comes that has this approach of justice been successful? And if yes, then how far or how successful it has been? So in this regard, a research was conducted by University of Pennsylvania in year 2007. So as far as this research is concerned, the research was obviously conducted in the United States of America, and they found that the areas or the places where restorative justice system has been adopted, there we have seen a higher rate of victim satisfaction as well as higher rate of offender accountability. That is one good aspect. Second, it also has been observed that there is substantial reduction in the repeat offending for some of the offenders. The offenders who has been passed through the restorative justice system, they are less keen on again repeating their offenses, repeating the crimes that has been committed by them. Third, it also reduces the costs of criminal justice systems because any mediation, any reconciliation can be achieved at much faster pace. And last, it reduces the crime of victims' desire for violent revenge. For example, many times if some murder has been done and the family member has been killed, then obviously the family member, that particular person, will feel a kind of sense of revenge, and that can give rise to a bout of crimes, or we can say a siege of crime that is being conducted. So there is a reduced crime of victims' desire for violent revenge. That means overall it will also decrease the extent of crime in the society. So these are the four major successes that you can associate as far as this particular method of justice is concerned. However, despite successes, the method is not free from criticism. So the main criticism that is imposed upon this restorative justice system is, first of all, many people have this perception that this is nothing but it is a way to get away with murder. That means if someone has committed a crime and if restorative justice system is brought into place or in practice, in that case they can just say sorry, or victims and offenders can agree to certain ways how they can solve this problem. The offender can give certain sum of money to the victims, but this is not a justice that can be said to be served really, and that is why many people believe that it is nothing but a way to get away with murder. Second is that it can also cause additional emotional or mental trauma to victim. This is especially true in the cases of violent crime. For example, again we have discussed, if someone's family member has been killed by a criminal and this family member is brought in the same room, have face-to-face interaction with the criminal, in that case this sense or the emotions can be very heightened, and additional emotional mental trauma can also occur to the victim. Third is, this is not suitable approach as far as the domestic abuse case is concerned, because the victim of domestic abuse will obviously do not want to again meet with his abuser, and also this is seen as a way of justifying, or we can say perpetuating, the domestic abuse cases, because if both victims and aggressor comes in the same room, they try to reach at certain conclusion, they try to reach at certain mediation, then again they can try to retain their family and maintain their family, and that can again give rise to a series of domestic violence. So that is something that is also a criticism of this particular approach. The fourth is that the restorative justice system is based on the assumption that offenders are remorseful, but that is not true in all the cases. Many times offender commit crime because either they are enjoying the crime, or they do not feel that they are doing something wrong, so there is a lack of remorse. So if offender is lacking any kind of remorse, obviously the whole approach of restorative justice system will fall flat. That is the fourth criticism. And again the same thing is there, that this system also base itself on the assumption that every person is morally responsible, but that is again not true. We cannot say that all people in the world have some moral sense or some moral compass. Many people in the world are there who do not have any moral compass, they do not care about moral ethics, they just think that whatever they're doing is right, and that is why many times they even try to justify the crime. So again in that cases the restorative justice system cannot be successful. So these are some of the major criticisms as far as this particular method of justice is concerned. Now, the most important point you would try to understand about that, what is the status of restorative justice system in India? So as per our constitution or judicial system is concerned, we do not have any set dedicated literature that talks about restorative justice. However, by looking at few of the past cases, we can understand the restorative justice system in India. So the first such case is Anupam Sharma versus NCT of Delhi and another. In this particular case, Delhi High Court has clearly said that the restorative justice can be used interchangeably with mediation. And here the mediators can also be appointed by the court, and the victims can be adequately compensated along with providing a punishment to the offenders. That has been the stand of Delhi High Court. Second, we can understand another case is Manohar Singh versus State of Rajasthan. Here also the Supreme Court has clearly stated, as far as section 357 of CRPC 1973, that is Code of Criminal Procedure 1973 is concerned, there is a section 357 directly aims to provide restorative justice to the victims, and the interest of victims are paramount as far as this particular section is concerned. Similarly, the other case we can see is the decision that has been taken by the government is in the area of juvenile delinquency, especially those children who are in conflict with law. They, for their restoration, justice cannot be served unless and until a restorative form of justice is taken into approach. So in that case, there has been passage of Juvenile Justice Care and Protection of Children Act 2015, which is also a very good example or a very good step taken in the restorative justice system in India. So by looking at all these examples and cases, what we can say, that though India does not have restorative justice system but have multiple pockets within the laws following its principles, and most of these principles are followed by the systems such as Panchayat system, Lok Adalat, as well as the system of arbitration. So that is all about this particular video about restorative justice. I hope you understood the basic concepts regarding the same. If you like the video, please hit the like, share it with your fellow aspirants, as well as subscribe to our channel for more helpful content. Thank you very much.